Rachel with Girl Gamer coming to you live from CES 2010, and we are here with Sean from Nvidia, who's going to be showing us a little bit more about the upgrades and a bunch of hardware. Very exciting stuff, so I'm going to let him tell us a little more about it.
So what we're talking about here today and showing off is the GF100, which is the code name for our next generation graphics chip. It's built on the Fermi architecture. This thing has 3 billion transistors. Architectural details are coming out this next week, so go online to learn a little bit more about this architecture. And what I want to show though is the capabilities of the chip, which I can do for you here right now. We've got it running here, and we've got this really cool Nvidia tool that we made to show off the next generation features of DirectX 11 with tessellation, and to show off advanced PhysX features. And that's what I want to show you.
Okay, so now I have a question about what do you find to be the major differences between DirectX 10 and DirectX 11 as far as that's concerned?
You know what? After the demo, you'll know.
All right, that sounds good with me.
Okay, what we're looking at is like I said, this is the tool that our engineering built. I think they spent a little too much time on it and they've turned it into a game. I'll show you that in a moment. But this is DirectX 11 with tessellation and our new advanced PhysX software. And I want to show you the capabilities of this and what it can do for next generation games. So this is what we want to see. We want to see more realistic games. This sled was actually modeled in PhysX. Everything here is independent, and the force of the engine is interacting on all of these elements, and you can see the force lines here as these elements are moving. I've turned on linear velocity so you can see this in PhysX. So I'm going to back up here, go at an angle, and you can see the base is modeled in PhysX too. Now when I hit the rocket engine, it's creating all these force lines, these vector lines. It's going to start pulling the rocket sled forward. And you can see how all the elements of the rocket sled are interacting with each other and blowing apart. Now, what does this mean? This means that you're going to get an experience that's always different. It's never going to be the same. All of these elements have specific physics properties, and they're all going to interact with each other in some specific way, and just like in the real world, it's always going to be random.
So it's random. There's no like variables that really make a large difference.
They all have their own properties, but the way they interact with each other is always going to be random.
Wow.
Now I'm going to fire a chicken gun and kind of bust this up a little bit. Just to show
as in real life.
Just to show you what happens, you know, what could happen in a game. Okay, what I'm going to show off here is some of the cool features of DirectX 11. One of the coolest being tessellation. Now, if you look in the background here, a lot of times those objects were rendered with large polygons and, you know, high-resolution bitmaps. Looked great from a distance, but as you got in closer, it didn't look as good. Well, what we really want is a high-resolution. In a high-resolution game is a lot of geometry, because then you've got a lot more, you know, mass to work with, a lot more crevices and
a lot of smaller spaces, more detail.
So I'm going to go ahead and eject him. Pull out a little bit. All this is tessellation. When I bring up the wireframe, you can see there's so much here, it's white. That is a lot of geometry. Now, the closer you get to that, because we're only drawing what's on the screen, the closer you get to that geometry, the more detailed it's going to become. But it's just the mountains that were tessellation.
He is very resilient, I noticed.
And he doesn't bleed. Now, let me see if I can get him to the other edge of the track and get a world record, or get a record here.
All right.
See if I can do it. All right. So again, he's going down the track. He's interacting with these other PhysX models. There's the archway. It didn't fall apart. There's the bridge. And he's really going fast here. Okay, I'm going to slow down. And I didn't do it.
But it was so close.
Yeah, it was close.